What that start, what kind of most displeased you about that start?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, I've said this before, I think the way we shoot the basketball cannot impact, the physicality that we have to play with defensively. And I thought that they pretty much were getting whatever they wanted. I thought our contest rate to start the game was not great. And we then picked it up, but we just, couldn't shoot the ball at all. I think in the first quarter we were maybe 0 for 10 from 3. That was probably the difference. I'm not a big flush game guy, I just think there's always something to be learned in any of these situations. But, we have to move forward from this, just with the game tomorrow. But the physicality part of it, I thought, was the tone that we kind of at least tried to set early wasn't good. And then I think what happened was it got worse with our inability to make some shots. And we just, we're going to have nights like that. And, I thought we generated good looks. I thought we got into the teeth of the defense. I thought we sprayed it out and got really good open corner threes. We just didn't make any, but it can't impact the other end of the floor because you can still make it a somewhat low-scoring game if you're not scoring and try to, defend better. But I thought we let them get going into a rhythm where once we did start contesting, I thought they made a lot.
Did you get an update on Patrick? And also, what was the reasoning behind his quick hook in that first quarter?
He wasn't moving well. It was his ankle was bothering him. And I got him off early because he just didn't like he was moving great. And he went back in there, and, I think it continued. So really just more his ankle right now. I'll probably find out a little bit more once they examine him a little bit further.
And could Kobe have gone back in if the game was on a
He could have. He could have. I think he and DeMar and Alex, I've always said, with the injuries we've had, their minutes have been, they've been up there, and I think it was maybe a 26 or a 27-point game going to the fourth.
Yeah.
Got to play tomorrow. Especially with him, I think he just kind of, I don't know if it was his ankle or his Achilles he tweaked, but, he could have gone back in, yes.
Right.
Yes, he could have gone back in. I just elected to hold him out.
Billy, you guys, it seemed like you guys had moved away from falling into that habit of letting missed shots lead to a lack of physicality over a long period of time. What do you think was the reason for that tonight?
Yeah, I mean,
Just one of those nights?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was saying, Joe, I'm not a big, flush game guy, but I do think that this has not been the makeup of the character of this group, in terms of the way we've battled in football. We've had some bad nights.
Right.
And I'm not saying that we didn't play hard or we didn't compete, but there's certain things we have to do to overcome their size, right? And there's got to be a lot more physicality. There's got to be a lot more help. I thought we gave them open shots. We let Oubre get going really early in the game, and then it became difficult to shut those guys off. I thought we tried to, but I thought the start of the game, with some of the opportunities that we had and missed, not that it always bled into it defensively, but, when you're missing shots, the defense gets magnified that much further, and our mentality's got to be. And it's not so much maybe what I'm saying is that the missed shots was bleeding into the defense. It's just that you have to amp up the defense now even greater because you're not making shots, to get some stops, to maybe generate some easy baskets in transition from the free throw line. And one of the things that kind of kept us around is DeMar kept getting fouled. He got to the free throw line early, but we just couldn't make enough shots, and we couldn't overcome their shot making because I didn't think we contested well enough early.
Really, how much of that physicality do you feel like comes down to just the lack of size that you guys have without Andre?
There's certain times. Andre was out there. We knew that they were going to play Joel probably the whole first quarter, and that's a lot physically to do. So we tried to stagger him. Give Terry a few minutes and then put Andre back in. But there was enough out there. There was enough out there. Certainly when Patrick went out and in that first half, that certainly made us a lot smaller. There's no question. But there was just certain things we didn't get pounded on the backboard. In my opinion, there was just opportunities that we could have been a little bit more physical, provided a little bit more help, been a little bit better contesting, and I think that would have. I'm not saying it would have made a difference of us winning tonight, but it certainly had a lot to contribute to us digging a hole. And I don't want to take anything away from them. They had 20 assists in the first half. They moved the ball. They generated good shots. They made shots. They played very well. So I don't want to make it seem like it's all us because they had something to do with it too.
So with the uncertainty with Paige, do you still feel like how you guys are set up just in terms of size is sustainable until he gets back?
We don't have no choice. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's it. You know, Terry's done a nice job for us, you know, in those situations. And listen, there was times where part of the reason why I took Andre out too is he did a good job of not fouling. But I felt like going into the game, if he would have picked up 2 fouls really early, then it becomes really difficult. So, you know, Joel's a hard guy to guard for 12 straight minutes, you know, and that's why we tried to maybe break Drum's minutes up a little bit, where he came out a little bit after about 6 minutes and brought him back to close the quarter, where he was a little bit fresher.
When you face I'm sorry.
Last one.
When you face a team in that short amount of time, and again, they think that kind of stars is just something.
I'm sorry?
When you face a team in that short of a period of time,
Yep.
and they have that kind of a star, do you just looking for anything to try and see what kind of get it out?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought we generated really good shots. I thought we missed a lot of shots in the lane. I thought we missed a lot of shots around the rim, but that happens. But now you've got to really amp it up defensively to make it very, very difficult on them. And I think the fact that, you know, we didn't really shoot the ball particularly well in that first half or in that first quarter, you know, 0 for 10 for 3. I don't know what they were. They were like maybe 7 for 10. You got to, you know, like the first couple possessions I thought were easy for them. And whether it be Oubre or Tobias or Joel, they get a couple easy looks early. Now their shot making, even when you do a good job of contesting, it's tough to shut it off.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
Okay, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.